This is a mind, body, spirit 2020 clear vision, man. Uh, in 2020, that's when I first made my YouTube channel. And pretty much when I had came back from school, I had played sports my whole life. And when I lost interest in sports, I came back home lost, out of touch. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And what I had to do the shadow work. I had to accept that, I had a good time at school. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed playing sports. I enjoyed the college, experience. But when I came home, that's when life hit. You know, what am I on earth to do? When I came home, I had to really look at myself because at that point, when I came home, I didn't know my purpose. No sports anymore. So what I had to do, I had to go within. Okay, this is my situation. I'm working every day. Coming home, I don't have anything else really to work on. So what I had to do, I had to stop going out. I had to take a break from all lust. I stopped having sex for like a month and a half. I stopped watching sports. I stopped pretty much anything outside of me. I completely cut it loose. And I just got focused on me. And that's when I went through a spiritual awakening for my first time. And during that time, I started getting into meditation. I started doing guided meditations. Then I just started doing frequency-only meditations. And I would just do that every rising. And eventually, over time, it just became a routine. But over this last 4 years, it's been a lot of ups and downs. And I've experienced that enlightenment, but I've also gone all the way down to that, that first level where you don't feel enlightened at all and your decision making isn't necessarily the best. The best part about cutting off everything is that you're able to see yourself. That's what the shadow work is. I was able to see my childhood self. One of the biggest things when I was a child was I will always have these dark thoughts. I will always have like suicidal thoughts and stuff like that as a young kid, and when I look back and I analyze how I felt as a child, I felt left out. I felt alone. I didn't know why I felt like I didn't know why I was here on earth. Like I didn't want to be on earth a lot of times. And those thoughts carry all the way into my adult life. And just one little thought can travel that far and it'll build up. And it's not like you think about it all the time, but when things get dark, that was something that would cross my mind all the time. And it was so painful just being stuck in my mind and feeling like I had to keep a secret when whole time it's so many people, successful, unsuccessful, or so many different types of people who experience the same exact thought. I was able to see my college self. In college, I really, enjoyed myself. I was going out, I was drinking, still playing a sport. That's something that that's something that affected me mentally over time because I couldn't keep up with it. But at the same time, analyzing that in high school, I really didn't have that experience at all, which, my parents really had my back because they didn't just, they didn't let me just do any old thing. Yeah, so the thing about it is when you just cut off all the distractions or at least limit them and you just within your own energy, gotta let you know his plans. He'll let you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to focus on yourself when you're drinking. You might have to cut that off. You might have to cut some friends off. Or maybe not cut them off, but you might have to take a little step back and really focus on yourself. No, I'm not going out. No, I'm not drinking. No, I'm not smoking. You know, because it might really just take, you know, a month and a half, 2 months for you to really like get in tune with yourself. So at that point, once you reach, you know, once you reach your awakening or your enlightenment, when you fall down, and you don't feel that high of enlightenment and you go back to your old ways, you can always revert back to the same steps to get you back to enlightenment, to get back to who you truly are and what God has planned for you. But while you're going through this process of, you know, really just focusing and, you know, focusing on your own energy, you want to be saying, I am great. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am successful. You want to repeat that over and over and over because you want to build yourself up. You know, if you insecure about certain things or, you know, you're not where you want to be or you want to grow from here, you got to build your mind up to where nobody can throw you off your course. And you just understand that everything is about your growth, your self-growth, your self-awareness. And when you know that, you can do anything. That's just how you got to carry it. You got to be confident. In the world we live in, you have to be confident. You have to build yourself up. And you got to know who you truly are. I'm him. I'm her. I'm the one. It's no issue with you saying that. You telling yourself that. You know, so it's all about self-confidence and knowing who you truly are. And another thing that go with that is it's mind, body, spirit. So you meditating, you working out. Okay, now I'm meditating. I'm being more consciously aware of all the foods that I'm putting in my body. I ain't even really got to overthink anything. I'm gaining the knowledge as I'm growing. Yeah, this is a mind, body, spirit, 2020 clear vision, man. We just gonna elevate. I'm facing my demons, my childhood self. I can see that. So now you can move forward in a position of power, you know, knowing thyself. You know yourself. It's nothing that can stop you when you know yourself. You know, I can look at my college self and see, okay, we can't do that in the future. We got to be more balanced in the future. So it's just about self-awareness. You got to look at your shadow. If you got to cry, cry. You know, you ain't got to cry in front of nobody. Cry by yourself in your room. You got to really, you got to go within. You might start meditating. When I first started meditating, like tears would just come down. It's natural. We humans. So, you know, as long as you got self-confidence, you good. Yeah, man. So that's the shadow work. You got to look at yourself, and it don't matter if you're talking about fitness or, you know, it's everything. It's everything in life. You have to be able to accept responsibility for your own life, your own actions, and where you are in your life. It's not about blaming nobody else outside of you because you are responsible for your own life. And I think when I understood that, that's what I understood when I got home. Okay, I need to figure this out. I need to look at myself. I need to analyze myself and how hard I need to go. I felt dead spiritually, so I had to go all in. Somebody else, you might be in decent shape, but I didn't. I had no sense of direction, so I had to really go hard. And the same thing for you. If you super overweight, you gotta go hard. You can't cut corners. You know, if your mental health is off, or you know, you got all this anxiety and all this pressure built up, you gotta go super hard, man.
Only two things can get you through this, man. That's patience and persistence. we all aspire, we all have the same emotions. You know, no matter who you are, where you from, we all have the same emotions. You know, we all want to be successful. You know, we all have the same fears of failure. We all have feelings of abandonment. We all, you know, want love. You have to have such a strong belief in yourself that you can quiet out all the outside noise, because you're gonna need that on every step of the way. You know, there are people that are projecting their fears and their shortcomings and failures on you. And you have to be very careful, you know, with that. People telling you can't do that. Why can't I? You know, because they may have tried, or they don't believe that they can do it. And it's not really about you, it's about what they feel and their fear inside. So you have to be strong enough and resilient to believe in whatever it is you're trying to do. Every human being has genius level talent.
You know, if every time someone asks you a question, you try to say the right answer, your entire life is a test. And when did you have the most anxiety in grammar school and high school?
No question.
On test day.
No question.
So your entire life become this test. I ain't trying to say the right answer. I am just doing what I feel. My mama said trying is failing. There is no ifs, woulds, coulds, shoulds. It just is. And we just are.